Yeah, Nicholas, amazing to have you back in the UFC. It's been a fight to get here, but how does it feel to be back?
Being back feels it's pretty difficult to describe with words. Actually, it's not because I'm being lazy with my language, but it's very difficult to describe. I think the best way I can put it is like I finally feel home again, fighting wise. So I'm very excited about it.
Are you someone who believes in fate, given what you've been through to get here and given the stage that you're on now fighting in Denmark?
Uh, I don't know if it's fate, but I'm a big believer in karma. So I put in the hard work, and it paid off. The universe paid me back after I paid my dues, I guess. But yeah, it is almost like a dream come true to get the opportunity to be the first Danish fighter walking into the arena on Saturday with the Danish flag raised above my head.
Your record is pretty impressive. You had a bit of a blip there, but ultimately, you've beaten some great competitors and proven yourself. And there'll be fans out there who just watch UFC, right? Who might be seeing you for the first time. So do you feel a need to sort of reestablish yourself among people, like among the masses, if you like?
Well, you could say that this is. I feel like this is a new chapter in my fighting career and life. So yeah, in a way, I feel the need to prove myself again. Like this is my first debut in a way. But on the other hand, I have that calm that comes with having done this before. So I'm gonna go out there and perform like it's my first fight in UFC ever. But I'm gonna have that calmness and self confidence because I've been here before, I've experienced before, so I'm just gonna be able to enjoy the moment even more.
It's amazing to have a card in Denmark, right? It's a pretty huge deal. It feels like kind of breaking new ground because it really is. But only a couple of Danes on the card. So do you feel a responsibility to represent in a way even more?
Yeah, you could say that because we're only two Danish fighters on the card. There's more pressure on our shoulders to perform. For me, it doesn't make any difference. I'm gonna go out there and fight the hell out of it anyway. So I'm just happy that a lot of Danish fans are able to be present for that experience.
It's a pretty tasty matchup, Alex Oliveira. Yeah, what do you make of it? It's definitely throwing you right back in there with a pretty stiff challenge.
Yeah, yeah, I like the matchup. I feel that says something about where UFC they see me. They're not giving me some. Well, there's no easy fights in UFC, of course, but they're not giving me the lowest tier level guy, maybe a debutant, somebody unproven. They're giving me someone who's very proven. For me, it's a perfect fight because the mix of risk and reward is awesome. And I want to get into the top 10 within the next year. So Alex Oliveira will be a very good opponent to not only measure myself against, but also when I get that win, it's gonna make my way into top 10 even faster.
You've never been finished, right, in your pro career. How significant is that for you in kind of backing up what self-belief you have, knowing that no one's ever been able to take you out in more than 20 fights?
Not ever getting finished means, that I'd never quit. I'm always sharp. I'm always focused. Even when I'm getting pushed backwards, I'm always in the fight. And knowing that means a lot to me. It gives me a lot of self-confidence, and I can not, and it's important to like differentiate between self-confidence and arrogance. So I walk out to the fight with a lot of self-confidence, knowing that, of course, he can finish me, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, you spoke about wanting to get into the top 10 next year. Having been here before, do you feel like a wiser man, and have you been able to map out your goals? It's difficult to think too far ahead, I'm sure, but have you mapped out how you want to do it the second time round?
Well, it's easy how I want to do it. I want to win fights, and I want to win the biggest fights possible. So getting Alex Oliveira for my first fight back is perfect. Who it's gonna be next will depend on a couple of factors. I have a couple of names in my head, but you're gonna have to wait to the post-fight interview to hear who that might be. But basically, I'm just back and I'm gonna win.